Welcome back to Particle Pharma. In the previous session, I was discussing about cell and its division. When I was referring that, I came to know that scientists at ETH Zurich have found a new subcellular organelle and they have named it as an exclusome, also known as mini organ. Why they are calling it as a mini organ? We will discuss it later. And what is exclusome? As it is a subcellular organelle, so it is present outside the nucleus. So they should also know, or they were worrying from where it has originated. Previously it was not found in the nucleus, but now they are able to see it and they have identified in paramecium species. So they came to know that exclusome might have originated either externally or internally. Externally through viral infection and internally through telomeric rings. What is telomeric rings? It is a chromosomal abnormality where the ends of chromosome they will get fused to form an circular DNA. So it is a circular DNA, in short exclusome, which nucleus ejects DNA either which is in foreign, which have came through viral infection, or which is not longer required or no longer required, or the chromosome ends which have fused they form a circular DNA. So it has ejected out through the nucleus into the cytoplasm. So that is exclusome, and it is a novel subcellular organelle. So it is located inside, outside the nucleus or inside the plasma of the cell, and it is covered by membrane which is similar to that of the nuclear membrane, but they are without the pores. So that is the main difference between nuclear membrane and exclusome membrane. So it is an spherical or irregular in shape. So in future, whenever if you want to see the exclusome through microscope, if the nuclear membrane is having, if the membrane is having pores means, so it is a nuclear membrane. If the membrane is not having pores means, for sure it is an exclusome. And it contains plasmid or small circular DNA molecules and electron dense material. The functions involved or the key features of exclusome is it helps in waste removal. Now you might be thinking that as it is an abnormality condition or it is arising through viral infection, how it can be helpful to the species. So exclusome, what it is doing is the DNA which is present or which is not good for the health of the organism, it is, after it is getting exported from the nucleus, it is engulfing it. Just imagine for some time it is engulfing it like that, or it is getting surrounded by the exclusome. So after it is engulfed by the exclusome, it starts showing some positive effects. So what are those effects? Waste removal. It helps in compartmentalize unwanted or toxic material which they have observed, and it also helps in defense mechanism. It is isolating harmful substances, means which is lethal to the human body, or it leads to infertility, that telomeric ring chromosomal abnormality. If it is formed, it leads to infertility, cancer, or birth defects. To prevent that, or it poses a genomic hygiene function, protecting the integrity of the chromosomal DNA. To prevent that, it is isolating harmful substances and managing cellular stress. Next is evolutionary importance. It represents a specialized adaptations. As a new mini organ is formed, it might have some function, so it helps in adapting, and it has unique metabolic or signaling pathway, such as the exclusome. It trigger immune response through proteins, and it influences the inflammation and autoimmune reactions like SLE. So in future, the scientists or researchers, they will come to know that, or they are studying that cell is or nucleus is exporting out the circular DNA or unwanted DNA, which part of the DNA and when it has to get exported, all that till now it is not discovered. Still they are researching out or still they are studying it. So later on we will come to know that. Now, why it is referred to as a mini organ? Why they have not called it as properly a subcellular organelle? Due to some reasons. What are those reasons? It is showing the structural compartmentalization, where it separates the DNA from nucleus. Means the unwanted nucleus, which is, unwanted DNA, which is present inside the nucleus, it will come out and it will form an exclusome. So it is helping the species. So in that manner, it is acting as an organ. Why it is not acting as a subcellular organelle, but why they are not referring it to as a subcellular organelle means subcellular organelle, single or wholly, they cannot perform a full function. So here it is performing. And you might be thinking that nucleus also have DNA. So why they are not referring nucleus as a mini organ? Why they are referring exclusome as a mini organ? You might be thinking, right? So the exclusome, which is showing some other characteristics also. So all together, it is referred to as a mini organ. And that mini organ, exclusome, is having a circular DNA, whereas nucleus does not have circular DNA. Next is functional specificity. Its various functions also helps in justifying it as a mini organ, whereas other subcellular organelles cannot perform all these functions together. So you might be thinking they might have told it as a cell, but we all know that a single cell cannot be present into the human species, onto a species. So many cells are present. So here inside the cell, exclusome is present. I accept it, or we all accept it, it is present inside the cell, but still they are referring it to as a mini organ, but not as cell. As cell singly or wholly cannot present. A single cell cannot present. I mean to say that. Next is eukaryotic characterization. It shows a traits of eukaryotic characterization where it means DNA is present inside them. Next, evolutionary significance. Where it shows or it is an intermediate step in development of complex nuclear compartment in eukaryotes. As it is not complex as traditional organ. Lastly, I just want to say that it is not complex as traditional organ, but its structural, functional, and membrane-bound nature justifies it as a mini organ. Maybe in future they will, in scientists or researchers, they will show some more capabilities or some more features of exclusum. That's why they have stated it as a mini organ. Still, you people have any other information regarding exclusum, feel free to share with us. So here are the references from where I have collected this matter. Thank you, and please do subscribe and watch our videos and share it with your friends or families to let them know what all new discoveries are coming day by day. Thank you.